Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing the module for communicative strategies. But before anything else, let's have our word of the day. So the word that we have on our screen is an adjective, which means eager or quick to argue or fight or aggressively defined. Okay, so this is how we pronounce it. Truculent. Can you repeat it? Truculent. Okay. So do you have any idea what truculent means? Okay. So have you met this word before? Okay. If not, kindly add this to your vocabulary. Truculent. Okay. So when we say truculent, this refers to the people who are bad-tempered or somehow cruel. Okay. When my uncle drinks too much, he becomes very truculent and will fight anyone. Okay, so that's one sentence example. So when we say truculent, someone who is hot or bad-tempered. Okay, so that's it. This is actually very important and also relevant to our discussion today. Why? Because there are people you are communicating with sometimes, but there are instances whenever we communicate to other people, we lose temper. Okay, we lose temper. What makes us feel very irritated or aggressive with a conversation or on a conversation? What makes us aggressive or hot-tempered during a conversation? But there are cases that whenever we do not agree with the point of view of the person, or if the person definitely said something wrong or something unrespectful for us, okay? So there we become truculent, okay? So that's the word of today, truculent. So what are the learning objectives of these discussion? After going through this module, you are expected to, number one, employ various communicative strategies in different situations. So we will be identifying how do we make use of these communicative strategies, in what different situations do we necessarily need to use these communicative strategies. Second is to explain that a shift in speech context, speech style, speech act, and communicative strategy affects the following. So if there will be cases that we shift on our speech context, again, what is speech context? It refers to the purpose of your speech, okay? Whether you are speaking with yourself, within yourself, that's what we call intrapersonal. If your purpose in speaking is to make friends or to socialize with other people, that's interpersonal communication. If your purpose is to inform a large group of people or persuade a large group of people to agree with a certain point of view, that is an example of a speech context, which is public speaking. How about making use of media, okay, or making use of different platforms to communicate? That is what is so-called what kind of speech context is that? Mass communication. Okay, good job. Now, when we say speech style, it refers to the different language registers or the level of formality that we are using whenever we speak or whenever we communicate. So there are cases that we speak formal language whenever we are on a formal setting, right? There are cases that we make use of casual conversation or somehow an informal one. Okay, so that's speech style. Remember? Okay, good. When we say speech act, it refers to the what? Speech act. From J.L. Austin, it refers to the performative language or the performative function of language. Whenever we have the spoken language or the utterances, there is an intention that the speaker needs to have in order for him to communicate well. And this intention requires a specific action from the listener. So the three different components of speech acts are, again, as a review, we have locution, elocution, and perlocution. Good job. and even communicative strategies, which we will be discussing today, all affect the following: language form, duration of interaction, the relationship of speaker, role and responsibilities of speaker, message, and delivery. So all of those affect or are affected by different shift or changes, okay, in all of these different topics. So that's what we will be discussing today. So first question that I'll be asking you, how do you know that you can communicate well to your friends or family? How will you be able to know if you are communicating well? Okay, so we feel like we are communicating well whenever we are being understood. We feel we are communicating well if in just one speaking, they can definitely understand what you're trying to say. No, when we are communicating well, if we can directly comprehend what we want to say and the action or the feedback is correct with what we are expecting. So we might know if we are communicating well if we are being understood, if there is a mutual understanding between two individuals, the speaker and the listener. So that's how we know we are communicating well. Do we need approaches in order to do it? Do we need approaches in order for us to communicate well? So the answer is yeah. Okay, we need approaches in order to communicate well. So what are these approaches? When we say approaches, these are strategies that we are using in communication. Okay, so what are the approaches that you need to do in order to communicate with other people? Eye contact. But there are cases that we need to have an eye contact. We need to be specific with our topic for us to be understood. Sometimes we need to disregard some topics that might probably be unrespectful or might cause misunderstanding. Okay, so we need approaches. When we say approaches, these are strategies that we are using to make good communication. So our topic today in oral communication is communicative strategy. So what is communicative strategy? Any idea? Okay, so if you do not have any idea, or if you have any idea, let's check if those ideas are correct. So when we say communicative strategies, it refers to the attempt by the participant in a communication activity to express his or her idea that minimizes breakdown in communications, according to Penna and Aludin in 2016. So when someone or when the speaker is trying to attempt or trying to communicate with the listener, wherein he is trying to express what he feels without breaking the communication or with minimizing the breakdown in communication, that's communicative strategies. We are using this in order for us to minimize or in order for us to lessen the breakdown in communication, for us to prevent breakdown in communication. So what are these breakdowns in communication? So what if, for example, someone cannot share his or her ideas? That is a breakdown. If someone cannot express the feelings or emotions, that is a breakdown. When we say breakdown, you cannot communicate well. So what will happen to communication? If breakdown in communication happens, it will lead into miscommunication. So when we say miscommunication, this is when the speaker and the listener cannot grasp each other's idea. They cannot accept each other's opinion. So if triangle and square is talking, triangle and square have different ideas. And if triangle cannot accept the square idea, that is miscommunication. They are not trying to understand or accept the opinion. Their truculence might happen, right? So someone might be aggressive, someone might be bad tempered. Okay, so we need to fix miscommunication. And what are the things that we need to do and to remember in order for us to have a good communication. So that is number one, topic management. So when we say topic management, it is considered as a form of a smooth interaction from the speaker to the listener. Topic management is making the communication smooth. Okay, meaning I am speaking about communication, and all throughout my discussion, I'm only talking about communication. Okay, that's topic management. You are trying to minimize some unimportant details about the topic and trying to focus on the specific topic itself. So making it smooth. Okay, topic management. Now, in order for us to achieve a good topic management, these communicative strategies are important. We have N, 2 R's, and 4 T's. Remember these. We have actually 7 different communicative strategies. So for these 7, number 1, N stands for nomination. 2 R's are restriction and repair. 4 T's are turn taking, topic control, topic shifting, and termination. So all of those, how many? 2, 6, 7, 7 different communicative strategies are what we will be discussing today. So starting from nominations. So whenever we hear the word nominations, it's more likely you are presenting something, okay, or you are pinpointing a specific topic. So on this image, you can see definitely a devastated area. Okay, we have been experiencing lots of typhoons recently. Okay, and the biggest one was Ulysses, right? I know most of us were definitely had had lots of negative experiences with the typhoon, not only on our area, but more likely with Cagayan, okay, and other parts of other regions in the Philippines. So when we say nominations, we are trying to nominate a topic to be discussed. Okay. So one communicative strategy in building a good communication is to present a topic. Okay. It's very hard to communicate if someone is not speaking or someone is not starting the conversation. So when we say nomination, you are the one to discuss or nominate a topic to be discussed. Okay. So that's one strategy. Here we have to we need to make sure that there's a good schema or a background knowledge from both the speaker and the listener in order for them to have a smooth communication, right? It's very hard whenever you nominate a topic that someone is not do not have any idea of, right? So in nominating a topic, you need to make sure that this person definitely, example, this person likes Korean novellas. So the topic that I'll be nominating during our conversation is about the her favorite Korean novellas, right? So that's nomination. One communicative strategy in building good communication is to nominate a topic. Okay, start a conversation, nominate a topic, and make sure that the topic that you are nominating, your listener has an idea about it. Okay, good job. So they both, speaker and listener, should be knowledgeable about the topic. So how do we start it? For example, I would like to talk about, do you know? Okay, so that's how we start nominating. Okay, so that's one communicative strategy. Moving forward to our second communicative strategy is restriction. Okay, so when we say restriction, from the word itself, restrict, we are managing our topics. We are managing our topics. How do we manage our topics? And an example of SONA, or State of the Nation address, we can observe that whenever President Rodrigo Duterte is taking the SONA, it's only limited with minutes, like more likely, it's not more than an hour, right, of a SONA. So one strategy of making a smooth communication is to limit, okay, Make a time limit of the topic that you'll be discussing. When you are trying to put a time allotment to the to the speech itself, it makes the speaker what collate all the important ideas and remove all those unimportant ones. Okay, so one communicative strategy is restriction. It is putting a time limit to the conversation or the communication or the topic discussion in order for the speaker to manage the topic and make it specific, clear. So it's like I will speak first 3 seconds, 3 minutes, then you will also reply for 3 minutes. So if you are putting this time limit, you are trying to make a path for a specific topic. Okay, that's topic management. And again, restriction is our number 2 in communicative strategy. Number three is reflect. Okay, so what is reflect? Let's reflect first. Okay, before we proceed with our third communicative strategy, let's have a short reflection. So do you think Filipinos are well prepared for natural disasters? You can have your answers on your mind. You can write it down on your notebooks. So I'll be asking the same question once we meet on our synchronous class. So think of it. Do you think Filipinos are well prepared for natural disasters? So this question is an example of a nomination question, right? Or a nomination strategy wherein you are trying to give a specific topic to discuss, okay? Why is it important in a small group discussion to restrict the topic? When you are on a small group discussion, examples are meetings, seminars. Okay, this is a small group discussion. Why is it important that you restrict the topic? So your answers will be, I will get all your answers once we meet on our same classes. So reflect on these questions. Okay, now let's proceed to our third communicative strategy. So our third communicative strategy is turn taking. From the word itself, turn taking, you are giving turns. You are giving turns. So more likely, changing the discussion from the speaker to listener and then continue the process of communication. That's one thing about communication, right? It's a two-way process. So it won't be communication if it's just one way. So two-way process. If you are the speaker, you might be the listener on the next round. Okay. So turn taking is another communicative strategy. Why? Okay, because if you are giving time for another person to speak, you are respecting the person, right? And being respectful in a communication process is very important. It might reduce the truculence, right? Because it's very hard whenever you are speaking with whenever you are building a conversation with a person and it feels like he is only the one who is speaking all the time. Within 1 hour, it's only him. Okay. We also need feedback. And also, we need to take turns. What's the purpose of that? Because it's a sense of what? Sensitivity. It's a sense of sensitivity that, and a sense of respect, actually, that on a communication process, it's not only you. Okay. So what are the things that we need to remember? Be sensitive on the signal. If the person looks like he wants to speak, to give him time to speak, time to express his or her idea. Okay, questions with turn taking. Okay, if you have questions, keep your questions and ask that on me through our synchronous class. So that's turn taking. Simply, one communicative strategy is to give and take. Okay, give and take time to speak. So next is topic control. So more likely this is the same way with restriction. But what's the difference? When we say topic control, you do not have the time limit, yet the topic must be controlled. So if you are talking about the Typhoon Ulysses, you'll just be talking about Typhoon Ulysses, and that's period. Okay, so you only focus on one or single topic on a conversation. Clear? One at a time. So if you are discussing about a specific topic, you need to make sure that you have the introduction, the body, and conclusion. Before you proceed or jump into one topic, you need to finish first. You conclude first the topic that you're discussing. So you need to have connections to the topic. Okay, if you will be shifting to another topic, make sure to have good connections. So how do we make use of that? We need to make sure that we are using transitional devices. What are these transitional devices? These are words that we are adding whenever we connect one sentence to another sentence. For example, in addition to that, furthermore. Okay, so that's what we so-called transitional devices. And these are important on a topic control because it's more likely you are just adding an idea, but the topic still controlling the topic, one topic at a time. Okay, so you are limiting to jump into one idea. Topic control is another communicative strategy. It helps you to manage your topic, okay? Because it's very hard whenever you speak, you have like lots of ideas. So topic control is important. Highlight first the topics that you want to discuss, one at a time, and make use of transitional devices. Okay, so let's have a quick reflection. What's the difference between restriction and topic control? When we say restriction, it talks about a time limit given to the speaker for them to control their topic. When we say topic control, you do not have a time limit, yet you are controlling the topic, one topic at a time. Clear? Clear. Okay, so that's another communicative strategy. Now moving forward to another, we have the topic shifting. So when we say topic shifting, simply changing from one topic to another, changing one topic to another, topic shifting. So here it says that whenever you shift from one topic to another, make sure to have it smooth transfer. So how will you transfer it smoothly? Okay, make use of transitional devices as well. Okay, so the one that I'm discussing earlier. If you will be shifting to another topic, for example, is also another transitional device. Okay, on the other hand, okay, you're discussing about a positive side. On the other hand, this you're now discussing the negative side. Okay, so that's topic shifting. So if you're discussing, you make sure to shift the topic smoothly for you to transfer the listeners for a better understanding, that they might not feel like what's happening. Where are we? Okay, so that's topic shifting. Next communicative strategy is repair. So when we say repair, sometimes the perceived idea of either listener or speaker is incorrect. You are speaking, and speaking. Then there are cases when you ask, did you get it? Oh, they didn't get it. Okay. So that's repair is important. It is controlling your topic. How when we say repair, it's addressing the problems that the speaker or the listener is having during the conversation. So if they are failing to comprehend what you say, it's not all the time that they get what you say. Always ask them, did you get it? Do you have questions? Okay. Am I making myself clear? Let's repair. Okay. That's one communicative strategy. Try to check if they are really understanding what you're saying. If they cannot understand you, try to rephrase it. When we say rephrase it, okay, make the word simpler. Probably your words are difficult, that's why they cannot understand. So try to make it simpler. Clear? Okay, I hope that's clear. Clarification and rephrasing is one way of repairing. Okay, clarification, asking them, did you get it? Okay, or are we on the same page? Rephrasing is trying, if they respond that they do not understand you, rephrase it, make it simpler. Okay, so that's repair. That's another communicative strategy. Now is termination. Termination is more likely ending the conversation in a proper manner. It's very difficult to end a conversation. More likely if you're speaking with someone who speaks a lot. Okay, so now time out, time out. How will we say it properly? So summarize the conversation before closing it. So if you have lots of ideas, introduction and body, make sure to conclude it good way. So how do you summarize? Therefore, I conclude. As a result, okay, in the end, on a final point, on a nutshell, that's how we make use of transitional devices for termination. So summarize first, give a synthesis of what you have been discussed. So after that, there you can put these transitional devices. Clear. So that's also a communicative strategy. Make sure to make use of good transitional devices. Okay, so I'll be sending you, you can check on your modules, those different transitional devices that you can use in termination. Okay. So again, those are the different communicative strategies. So we have nomination. When we say nomination, it is what? You are presenting a topic to be discussed, okay, nominating a topic to be discussed. When we say restriction, you are limiting a time, not limiting a time, you're making a time limit for the topic to be discussed. So limiting the time, okay. Prepare is another way of communicative strategy. This is clarifying and rephrasing. When we say turn taking, simply give and take. Topic control is you're controlling the topic, one topic at the same time, one topic at a time. When we say topic shifting, shift smoothly, okay, make use of transitional devices. Termination is simply ending your topic by summarizing it and making transitional devices to conclude it. Okay, so again, those are the different transitional devices. Now, we will be proceeding to our activity. So this will be posted in BB. You have to answer this. So how can we answer this? We've discussed different communicative strategies. So imagine you're speaking with your friend. I am speaking with my very close friend and we're talking about a topic X. Okay, I know not most of you, not all of you have experienced having an ex, but this is somehow very, anyway, very argumentative topic. So can an ex be your friend? That's a question. If you have someone who hurt you, who have caused you pain in the past, is it okay to make friends with him? So how will you make a statement? So you will be creating dialogues or conversations between you and your friend. So conversation between you and your friend on a nomination communicative strategy. How will you nominate the topic to your friend? Restriction. How will you make use of restrictions for the topic? Turn taking. Make a conversation showing turn taking between you and your friend, okay? Topic control, topic shifting, repair, and termination. So all of those different communicative strategies, use that, make dialogues, okay? With the topic, can an ex be your friend? Okay, so this will be posted again in BB. So check it on. The deadline will be by Monday. Okay, so take your time answering this let's practice activity. You can make use of your own graphic organizer, or you can make use of this graphic organizer and just take a photo or screenshot of it, then write your answers on each of the columns. It's okay. You can make use of this or you can make use of your own graphic organizer. Okay. If you have questions, just let me know on our GC. Okay, so I can respond to you. So if there will be no more questions, that will be all for today. So thank you very much for listening on our topic, communicative strategies. Next topic will be Module 5, speech delivery and speech purposes. Okay, so thank you very much and bye for now.